Yes. I mean, we started out here in Paris in 1973, is it 50 years ago? And I was sitting here today, 50 years afterwards, and still discussing topics. Well, I'm sure they didn't discuss all the topics that we discussed through these days for 50 years ago, but they started out an unbelievable, interesting journey. So to just mark the 50th anniversary of the Federation, I want that all the people who have served in the Federation, either in the board or as a Secretary General or a director or whatever, please enter the stage. Please enter the stage. And I haven't been able to talk to everybody and alert everybody in advance, but everybody knows who that's supposed to be. So please, Terry, please come with me. So here's Terry Godin. Terry and I was in a board for 8 years or so. Huh? Yeah. So do you want to say hello to this audience, Terry?
Well, I'm very happy to be with you, and I hope everything is going well for you.
Yes, and everything is going very well, very well. And well, about the future, we have to discuss more thoroughly and further. So yeah, okay, Fabienne, come. Yeah, Andreas, Tamás. Okay, Tamás, Cesar, please. And well, a lot of former presidents and people have served. Tom? Yes. And Rosa's taking pictures. And Helga. Andreas. So, and I think, well, that's some of the people that have been involved in the Federation over the years that are present in this conference. So I think we should give them a hand. And I really also would like to ask one question. What are the expectations for the next 50 years? But I don't know if I should ask that question. But well, I ask it. I ask it. Okay. And Fabienne, she always wants to answer that kind of question. So please.
Okay, so I would say that my expectation for the next 50 years are that from the name World Future Studies Federation, we think not only future studies, because we can find now future studies everywhere, but we find federation. And behind federation, this is a common spirit of welcoming newcomers, of opening our mind, conscious, and heart to people who are not from our community, but who are very willing to enter it. And that's it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Fabienne. And I'm also very happy that Cesar is here. Cesar made it the whole way from the Philippines. So Cesar, please give your greetings to the audience.
I bring you greetings of peace from my country. I'm in the Philippines. I come from the Philippines, but I'm now in Timor-Leste, the youngest country in Asia. Thank you. My hope for the Federation, futures become mainstream in terms of people's lives.
That sounds like a very good invitation. Thank you. Rosa, you're from Brazil.
I wish that the Federation be one of the great contributors for the word transformation, being in inclusive and peaceful words, and that the future has become the main ambition of all institutions, and the Federation should have been one of the main contributors. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Maya, do you want to say? She's from Belgium, I think.
Is she? So thank you for being here, all of you. I wish there were even more of us. And I wish this group keeps growing and we do what we need to. Thank you.
What we need to. Thank you. And our science fiction expert, Tom.
Well, I'm not going to say anything about science fiction, though. It would be that the human population would come to realize that their capacity for future consciousness is the most distinctive and empowering ability that they possess. And they need to focus more on heightening it and understanding and developing it, because that indeed is what has created human civilization.
I think that we have to take with us. Thank you. Thank you. Andreas.
Yeah, so I feel privileged and honored to stand here, but in the next 50 years, I hope to be looking at you people over there, also standing over here. So, you know, take up the role and also become co-creators of this beautiful federation.
Thank you. Thank you. And Helga.
I hope that we stay the group of lovely people as we are, and we feel to belong to. It's good to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. I know. And Riel, of course. Hello, Riel.
We should keep on having fun.
We definitely have. Okay, okay. So now I turn the microphone to Tamás because you are going to do something for us. Yeah, Jerry. Jerry, yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes, my wishes of peace for the world. With all, and peace with nature.
Peace with the world and peace with nature. That's fantastic. So, yeah, fantastic. So, Tamás.
I hope long live the spirit of the Federation, and what it really means. I will show you right after the video. Good. Thank you.
Yeah, and then we have just improvised a small, very short video in a very short period of time. So if you could play that video, it's only, you know, some statement from the history of the Federation. So. So much knowledge and wisdom in those quotes. So now, Tamás, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Yesterday evening, we had a small taste of the spirit of the Federation, and I had the chance to collect some memories about this spirit, which I would like to share, right, with you. However, right. However, no matter how much I try to make it as diverse as possible, it remained personal, which means that my archives, of course, was restricted, but I'm very grateful to all those who could contribute to this small game, what we can have, namely in terms of some pictures from the past, from Richard, Chris, Juha, Rakesh, Cesar, Jennifer, Victor, and Erzsébet. So all in all, where we have this small set of memories concerning the spirit. All of you have an answer sheet, okay, with you. You can share it. Helga, yeah, here, you can. Right. So you need just a pen or a pencil. Of course, you can talk to each other, you can help each other. And we have 20 short questions concerning the spirit. And I'm a teacher, just to be on the safe side, let me show you what I'm thinking of, right? Just as an example. So, you will see a picture, okay? And with these pictures, you will have a question, right? All these questions are numbered, so you can identify from the answer sheet, right, where to answer. You will have, for each question, 3 answered. Okay, what do they say? Question A, trick or treat, long live Halloween. Or, welcome on board, which was said in the 2005 Budapest boat trip. Or, you never expect the Spanish Inquisition. Now, from these, all these answers are identified by symbols, by letters, and you have to choose, okay, the correct one, and just please circle that. Those who are online, we also greet them, very warmly welcome, and you can find the same answer sheet in the chat box, or you can just take a piece of paper and put down the right number of the answers. And of course, as we have a very short time, we will make an assessment just on the spot after the question. So you will see, or you can check whether you had the right answer or not. As to make some conclusion from these questions, I've collected from my personal point of view that what element of the spirit it may raise. For example, in this case, that we have a wonderful colors of diversity, like here with this boat with Elizabeth, Maya, Peter Mettler, Linda, or Zia, right? And this diversity makes in the same boat the possibility that the spirit may emerge. So let's start, right? 20 questions, 20 points. Okay, so the first one. The question is, who are they and what do they look like? Okay. Olga, Masha, and Irina, right? From the Chavovsky sisters, and they are Wondi, which means thoughtful, wonderful, very kind. Or they are Charlie's angels, and they are all windy, talking too much. Or they are friends in Kure, they are Wendy, anyway, where the name means friends, actually. Okay, please circle your answer, which is, of course, right, they are all Wendy. Welcome, Wendy. I hope you are with us, right, here on the spot. And what I learned basically from this one, that I think in the terms of the spirit, we start from the inside, from the women's side, because that's for sure that the mothering and the care is the foundation of any kind of spirit, right? Good. Okay, question 2. What happened? Luke Skywalker has succeeded in finding Master Yoda on the planet Dagobah. Or Edmund Hillary, mountaineer, and Tenzing Norgay, Nepalian Sherpa, have successfully returned from the Mount Everest. Or Richard Slaughter, later president, salutes Robert Young, a founder of the WFSF. Okay, please circle your answer, which is right. Of course, yeah, we greet Richard, yeah, from the far distance, right, from here. And I'm sure that it's very important that these ancestors, you can sit there, right? These ancestors are really Sherpas in our life who take who all carry our burdens. So really great honor to all these ancestors. Okay, good. I also collected some. There was a call in the correspondent list, and I was very happy that some of you replied, and I tried to share and link also these ideas concerning the spirit of the Federation. Thank you very much, Jan, for that, who identifies and highlights that the different generations of futurists, okay, take care of the Federation each time with these changes. Okay, and this also happens, of course, when not within the generations, however, right, intra-generational paths we can have. For example, when Richard passed the presidency to Tony Stevenson in Brasov, all right. Yeah, that's so. Okay, next question. 3, who are they? First answer, Wiener Sängerknaben, an alumni meeting. Excited Malaysia conference participants in 2014. Or the Earth's representatives of the first intergalactical temporal council. We cannot put a date for that since the year differs by the specific temporality of the universe. Okay, please circle your answer, which is right. Of course, S is the right answer for that. I think it is very important that it is our federation, in my experience, is really an a cappella choir, a smalling community, individual in voices and harmonizing sounding. And I hope that at least yesterday evening, you could experience that. Good. Okay. Next question. Which statement is correct? Which is the correct statement? Okay. First, for future inspiration, Gabriel Garcia Marquez is experiencing the 100 years of solitude. He reminds of him, right? Or Jorge Rodeiro, the first transhuman, is presenting the short version of his manual book. Or Jose and Tom have different but quite unique contributions to the future. Right. And the right answer is, okay, F, letter F. And it's very important that this open stage to diversity of personality is what keeps the spirit of WFSF mobile, alive, and dynamic very much. So thank you very much, Jose, Tom, and all the other people, right, of your individual contributions. Well, there are many correct answers in most cases, but you have to find the most correct answer, right? Okay. Right. And thank you, Jose, for sharing your ideas, which says that the first half century of the WFSF has been exciting, and the following half century will be even more, to the singularity and beyond. Right. Thank you. Right, next question. What is this? Okay. The spirit in strict sense of the place, it's a beer mat in the 1990 Budapest conference. Or it's a traffic sign from the future. The big brother is watching you. Or this is the logo of the first interplanetary Olympic Games in 2776. Choose the best answer, okay, which is, yes, this was a beer mat. It's a good idea to have anyway. So it seems really that the spirit of the spirit is quite important for us. Yeah, yesterday night we could also experience that. However, at the same time, the spirit appears in many cases. This is also from the Budapest conferences from 2005, where, you know, the spirit is always materializes. And it's very important since we live in the earth. Hopefully, partly it materializes in real spirit, but the spirit of the place is also something which determines how we feel. So the atmosphere of this building is also a determinant in our memories. And let us recall Eleonora's ideas that this kind of materialization is always about the values, okay, what we have and what we share within this sphere. Right, next question. Okay, what is the relationship between the two pictures? Tricky and difficult question. Okay, first answer. Samwise Gamgee, the Hobbit, admires Edith Piaf in a concert. Or Jordi makes an imagined interview with Eleonora in Bacolod, 1999. Or Maria Callas in the role of the Night Queen with Papageno in Mozart's Magic Flute. And I'm sure you are excellent to find out that, yes, indeed, the point was that Eleonora could not join the Bacolod concert. However, he wanted to make a speech, and Jordi was very wonderful to make an interview, right? An imagined interview with Eleonora. And in order to make difference between herself and Eleonora, when he was speaking on behalf of himself, he put a Catalan cap on his hat. And when he answered on behalf of Eleonora, he just took it off. Right. Anyway, if you have any stories to one of the conferences, don't hesitate to share it. Good. And of course, this kind of Catalan hat can be very important and metaphoric at the same time. So as a futurists, we can always take different perspectives. However, it's quite important to be aware that which hat we are wearing at a certain moment. Good. Now, first, let's see the video and after that the question.
Éppen ezért tulajdonítunk mi most nagyon nagy jelentőséget az alternatív civilizáció koncepciójának. Ennek az a lényege, hogy jelenlegi problémáink mellett még szembe kell néznünk a modern kor globális problémáival is, amely tragikus jelleget öltenek. Még legfeljebb 50 évünk van hátra, nem több. És akkor aztán elpusztulunk? Elpusztulunk a harmadik világháború nélkül is, hogy miért.
And the question is why? What is the answer, okay, to this question? So what is the end of this prophecy? What is the answer? First possibility. Because you told to me, Mr. Keynes, that in the long run we are all dead, says Milton Friedman. Or because it is impossible to double production and energy consumption every couple of years, says Igor Bestushev Lada, one of the founders in 1990 in the Budapest conference. Or because we neglect our third eye, even if I have already depicted, says Pablo Picasso in 1909. And you could circle the right answer.
Hát azért, mert nem lehet pár évente megkettőzni a termelést és az energiafelhasználást.
Right.
Hát azért, mert nem lehet.
Yeah, we know. Thank you. So it is why. Why is the right answer. Please circle. It will be important in the end. And what we learned from it, that really the spirit, what we have is and should be protective, which creates empathy to experience futures without living these futures. And this could be one reason, I think, for the federation, for the founders to launch the federation, and it's a good example. It's good to have, thank you, Erzsébet, for having some videos, right, from this conference. And Bruce also shared some ideas in this case when resolving conflict situations is one of the most advantageous and powerful contribution of the federation and the spirit what we have. Good. Now we have a quite nice picture. Yes, Cesar, I'm sure you remember that. Okay. And the question is that what event is this? First answer. It's a white card conference of the WFSF in tropical and snowstorm. Or Captain Oneden and Captain Baines make the first route of the schooner Charlotte Roads to do business with the Eskimos. Or the fans of the Barcolana sailing race are cheering for the winner in Trieste in the age of the climate change. Choose the right answer for that, which is yes. We had some white card conferences. For example, it was a sailing boat in Bacolod, right, in 1999. It was a huge storm. And at the same time, also a blizzard in Jondal, Norway at that time. And the learning is that really how fortunate we are that Future Studies is aware of white cards, because there can be no surprise in the conferences what we have. Am I right, Helga? Right. Right. And Martin, right? Okay. No. Good. And thank you, Leopold, for sharing your ideas that, as he mentioned, solutioneering. So finding solutions to these white cards is a very important advantage, what this spirit may have. Good. Question 9. What are they doing? In her vision, Jeanne d'Arc meets Gandhi to discuss leadership of social movements. Or Marina Vladi is inspiring Vladimir Vysotsky in a pub in Moscow. Or Fabienne and Rakesh, just they are, who are paying attention to each other. No matter what it means, right? Okay, and the right answer is, right, it's D, right? Letter D. And for me, basically, it means that really, even if we have spirits, that these spirits emerges from attention, the being devoted. And I'm sure that Fabienne and Rakesh in that presidency were excellent in being devotedness. Fabienne, as you are with us as the representative of the presidents at the same time, do you have something to share as an example of the attention?
Thank you, Tamás. Well, I brought with me an object, and maybe you don't see it very well, it's just a box with the logo of the WFSF on it. And it says, you remember. And we got this logo in this box in Japan. It was really something. I mean, it was my first time in Japan. I was very impressed. It was, Japanese used to make things big. So it was really big. And it was so interesting because the only things I gave us as a memory of this event is this wood box. And for me, this is a symbol of attention, because this was in 2005, 6, something like that. Not even maybe before 2003. Yeah, you're right, before, because I was 2001 or 2003, so 20 years ago anyhow. And 20 years ago, it's still in my kitchen. And I used to put my the spoon that I use only for putting my coffee in my machine coffee. And for me, this is the attention. It is not clinging, it is not diamond, gold, anything, but this is what we are. And if you can look at it really, you see that there is no nails, no glue. It's just that the wood is cut in such a way that it is, okay, you see what I mean. So, and I think that if we succeed to be this, then we will still be alive as a federation in the next 20 years. Thanks.
Thank you, Fabienne. It was really wonderful. So we are halfway. And the question is, what is the difference between the two photos? Okay. One possibility, less dark glasses or more hair or nothing. This is the same legend. Right. Please make your choice, which is age. Yes, this is the same legend in Dubrovnik and in Bucharest. Really 30 years, right? 30 years difference between the two times. And I think these legends are very important in this spirit because they make it eternal, as we started yesterday. Because behind the obscure emergence, because we don't know the legend, where the legends come from, and we don't know where they go as the future becomings, but they are as glooming truth, always find the right direction, right, for a company. Good. And Victor also shared some ideas in which he really salutes also Jim Dator as one who, under his tutelage, he was introduced to those involved in the birthing of the World Future Studies Federation. And it's very nice to have John Sweeney. Okay, but you just shared it, right? Okay, so thank you, John. Then, right, I will correct it. I think you're not the only person who was introduced, right, by Jim to the Federation. Okay. Now, question 11. Maya, don't go anywhere. Maya, turn just this way, right? So the question is, what can you see? Okay. First, when different times meet and enjoy each other in the present, or Scandinavian and Maya civilizations, or Doc Brown and Marty McFly have successfully returned from the past of the future. They look like that, right? Okay, find the best answer, right? Because all of them seem to be correct, which is, all right, letter T, when different times meet. And it's quite important, as Maya highlighted, that the learning spirit of the WFSF, when these generations meet, as they flow and oscillates, which gives really the spirit living. Thank you for that, Maya. Right. Also, a short spot.
I said, no one of these a little bit of pretty many morning. I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna wake up and say, I'm gonna spread these little bitty wings until the cloud is so high. For my daddy, he's so rich, and my mama, she's a good looker. I said, little baby, don't. I said, don't. I should have done nothing. Don't.
All right. Okay. Okay. Come on. Oh, sorry. Yeah. And the question is that what event is this? Right. The right answer, Britain's Got Talent final. Or it's a Derek Dessert from the gala dinner in Berlin. Or medical treatment for futurists. Okay, just find the best answer for that. Okay, which seems to be right, a wonderful dessert for a gala dinner. Now, however, the point is that the WFSF supports futures activities which, like a blues, okay, what we heard really unfolds the deepest layers of life. And this is where we are. And there are other examples, for example, in Mexico with Guillermina. I wish we had a video, right? Also from that. You have. Well, you should share it in time then. But we will make it anyway available, all of these issues for everyone to enjoy it anytime. And thank you, Gáspár, for sharing the idea that the intergenerational community which perpetuates and selfless quest for the meaning derived from the future. And this meaning is what is interpreted in the blues. So, long live blues. Okay, 13. What does he or she say? Good. First, I was counting on people, not just on numbers. Or, at long last, we managed to reduce the costs of the gala dinner. Or, I like to be a volunteer. I would never be the co-chair of a world conference. Okay, think of it carefully, right? Which is the right answer. However, the best answer is circle. It will be important, right? And this is I. Yes, I was counting. And the point is that, yeah, this is Evelyn, right, who is talking about it, who is the accountant of the Federation. But all of these people you can see are basically volunteers in the beginning, or young futurists and volunteers at the same time. And from this, an emerging future, right, we can see either as a co-chair or as a board member or as an accountant, and as Aletia, who is taking care of the online whole conference now at the moment. Thank you, Aletia, for that. So I think this kind of volunteer work is of utmost importance. Thank you. Now we have a modest example of the questions here, namely that, who can you see? Right, the first opportunity. Pop-Up Smurf, Brainy, and Gargamel. Or it's a casting for the role of Statler and Waldorf, the two elderly guys in the Muppet Show. Okay? I guess who will win? Or the third possibility, just three happy futurists, Peter, Ted, and Ruben. Right. And you are ready with circling the right answer, which is B. And I'm sure that's an excellent example for the statement that the WFSF is not a serious community in the sense that serenity is the clue for survival and long-run existence, that's for sure. So let's keep this serenity, okay, under any kind of white card, what we may have. And Chris also shared his idea, which fits very much this one. As mere visitors of planet Earth, we have the spiritual responsibility of creating hope through preferred futures. And this hope should appear as serenity at the same time. Good. Now we have also some modest example, right, from the past. And the question is, what is happening? Okay, this is the last third of the questions, what we have. I hope you recognize, I mean, at least the elder ones, the newcomers, yeah, can ask the people sitting next to you that who can you see? Okay, first possibility. Drunk hippies are waiting for Jimi Hendrix and Bob Dylan after a concert. Or young musicians are practicing sign language on the left to talk to Eric Clapton and Ludwig van Beethoven. Or young voices of their times, Jose, Stuart, Sohail, and Chris. Sohail Inayatullah and Chris Jones. Right. It's wonderful. And the right answer is the square. And I'm sure that other than the volunteers, what we have, and the white cards, the weak signals are also of utmost importance in the emergence of the spirit and the federation. And these weak signals and young voices have already proved to be ultimate to keep up and refresh the spirit of the WFSF, right? Sometimes in a revolutionary way, sometimes not that revolutionary way, but all are excellent examples. That's how the new generation will emerge. Right, this is the oldest photo from 1976 when Sohail attended Jim's course in Hawaii, right? The first course in Hawaii. Okay, and the Stockholm conference also from the very first conferences, okay, from where we have example. Good. And I think what Tamás also shared with us is very good that with the new voices, the future we do not predict, but we invent. I mean, the new voices and the new generations invent it all the time. We have also a very nice, okay, example of the past where the question now is that when was the photo made, right? And of course, who they are. First possibility, 1927, this is the Solvay conference, when some participants from left to right, Heisenberg, Einstein, Schrödinger, and Marie Curie. Anyway, if you check, they remind of them. Or 2017, the Jondal, or how do you pronounce it? Jondal conference, some presidents and directors or secretary generals from left to right, Victor, Cesar, Eric, and Jennifer. Or 2107, the Andromeda Conference, and some survivors from left to right, Palpatine, Han Solo, Chewbacca, and Leia. I think it's quite easy to find the right answer, which is Chewbacca. Okay, almost the letter Y, right, with the Yundar Conference. And I'm sure it's very important what Cesar, right, sent to us, with highlighting that the empowerment, the moral empowerment of the futures, okay, is at stake in the case of the spirit. Thank you for Cesar for that. And in this case, Cesar also have a contribution, and I'm very happy that one of the greatest secretary generals is with us, because Cesar has prepared a poem for this event, for the 50th anniversary. Cesar, would you please read it out and comment, okay? So the author himself will present it.
My apologies, but this was supposed to be a poem, but I will read it. Conscientized by futures, decolonized futures. Awed and animated by futures, futures. Hope by futures, renewed by futures, inspired by futures, spiritual futures. Ingenious futures, rooting and winged futures. Creative futures, reimagine, and green rooting, printing futures. Co-creating futures, synodal futures. Mainstream futures, futures as a way of life. Transforming futures, the cosmos and life forms regenerate. Thank you. Now, one last point. A comment from Sohail. This can be chapter of a book waiting to be born.
Right, okay. A new emergent future, right, from the past. Excellent. Thank you very much for Cesar for that. Good. We are very close to the end. Oh. I tried to make it as GDPR, close as possible. But the question is, what links the two pictures? Right. So, Butch Cassidy and the Sunday's Kid think of mingling in a nudist beach to escape. Or miserable bootleggers in the 1920s New York harbor wait for Michael Corleone and Al Capone. Michael Corleone and Al Capone. Or this is Real and Roberto, who highlight the naked presence in Anticipation. And I hope you found the right answer, which is, I hope you circled P. Yes, P for that. And anyway, it is true that you could see that, well, this picture was made in Turku in 2003 anyway. However, with this naked futures, no, not the naked future, the naked reality, what we can realize with the futures or with the futuring is one of the main foundations of the whole work, what we do within the Federation, and which can be the literacy or the fluency of the WFSF spirit. But let me tell you that this is not the only picture from the so-called modest Finnish conferences, okay, what we had. And, you know, I wish, yes, Pentti or Anita or Mikka, right, were with us from 1993 Turku conference. And at the same time, one of my favorites is from 203 Turku. It was a boat trip, and very many people. It was like a world conference because everybody was there, right, from all over the world, even from Australia, from the United States, from Hawaii. And Mika and Cesar are talking just here on the boat. I was standing next to them, and Mika was wonderful. He just said in a very loud voice that, Cesar, I hope this ship won't sink now. Yes, it would be a shame. It's full of futurists who can foretell, you know, the future. It was wonderful. I like. You remember that? Okay, yeah. So I tell the truth, you see. Good. Now the final three questions. It's a bit more difficult, but we are approaching the end. Now the question is that what are they doing? First possibility. Bruce foresees that Jenna, her daughter, will also participate in a WFSF conference. Or Master Shifu is training Po to heal with his hands. Or the last possibility, Hermione is lurking, how you know who, gives a command to Lucius Malfoy, right, on the back. I hope, Lucius, you are with us somewhere here? No, unfortunately not. Good, but the right answer is that, right, Bruce Tong, who is also an excellent member from the United States, and her daughter Jenna was in Budapest Futures course in 2003. And what was very important for me in this to learn that really the spirit becomes strong if this intergenerational link appears within a family and not just between the different families. And this was an excellent example for that. Right, now, last but one, okay. Question is, oh, sorry. So where is this stream from? So what is happening now? Jane Campion is directing Mephisto in the Deutsches Theater Berlin. Or Jocelyn is keeping an outdoor workshop by her poems in Budapest, as well as a pantomime performance we can see, which expresses images in the Mexico conference. Or Jane Goodall, anthropologist, is documenting a new species that can take over from the insane humankind. Which makes sense anyway. However, the best answer is letter A, Jocelyn. Jocelyn Ortsayed, living in Pakistan, born in Australia, made an outdoor wonderful conference. And you can see that the participants were reading out her poems, including Cesar, Jose Ramos, right, Chris Jones, and other people. And it was wonderful to realize, right, this kind of contribution of arts. And we made
I will sing till my song is sung.
a recording.
Wherever you meet me.
Jocelyn is reading out her poem.
On road or field or mountain. In I or thou or we. I will go where no road goes. And the road will go with me. To bring to you at sunrise. The now in eternity.
Wonderful, right? It's quite difficult to talk after that. The good news is that we made a 1-hour report with Jocelyn at that time. And I found the whole CD, okay, which will be available for all of you with all the poems and some remarks what Jocelyn made. I wish she was with us also. However, the real learning is that it's very good to see that the Federation is open to all forms of images, and not only science, but science and arts, which do not question each other. It's very unique, I guess, in these conferences, what we have, different types of arts. Good. And the last question, the very last question. Question is that what is common in these pictures? Okay. Question is, answer A is, all are future events of the WFSF. You remember that? Or the very likable young man is the right one. Or the shirt writer now. Okay. Okay. Find the best answer, right? The best answer, which is, yes, of course, the shirt. Now, the point is that I had no idea. So it is really an emergence of the futures when the unknown becomes known. I had no idea about that I was, well, I like this shirt, but you're right, I took it with me to all the conferences, right? In Bacolod, in Budapest, in Turku, in Bucharest. Only when I collected the pictures, I realized that, oh gosh, this is the same shirt. So I decided to take it with me, right? So, but the question is that what is the message of it? And for me, it was that objects like the box, what Fabien took, remember. And once you take them again, you take the spirit they absorbed too. So the spirit is not just, you know, somewhere there. The spirit is materialized in the building, in the objects, what we have and what we wear. So I'm sure that every time I take on this shirt, the whole spirit, you know, is on me, right? Okay, now, so here we are with the 20 questions, which is age. Please check your answers, okay? The first question is that who has more than 15 right answers? Okay, please, hands up. Well, okay. Who has more than 10 answers, right answers? Okay, very well. Good. Now, another element of future studies and the spirit of the Federation is that the temporality is not linear. We can change temporality, and this is one of the main advantages. So why not take these letters, what you either wrote down or you circled? Okay, please read them from the bottom to the top, right? In a reverse temporality. Okay, don't say it, just read it. Okay, do you have? Okay, just keep it. And if you manage to find the real solution, then for 3, we can share, right, with each other and with everybody who is online. Ready? So 1, 2, 3. WFSF. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, thank you. And now the end of the presentation should be, that thank you very much for your paying attention. However, it is not. As I mentioned, this is a personal story. You could realize that it's not diverse at all, neither in gender, nor in times, nor in terms of regions. So may I invite you to contribute and to continue this presentation, which will be uploaded, right, which will be available. Please create your own slide with your own photo, or you can choose one from the collection, what we have, which will be also available. Just choose one and please add your message concerning the spirit of the WFSF. And once we have, 200 or 1,000 different slides, then that will be also a kind of materialization of this spirit. Thank you very much for that, and thank you very much for the possibility for the contribution. Okay.
Tamás, everybody! And the spirit. Wow, that was fabulous. That was just fantastic. Oh. Yeah. I feel the spirit, and I recommend everyone to try to touch this shirt. Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you. So, thank you very much. We are approaching the conclusion, the closing ceremony of this conference. We just need to pick up a couple of things upstairs, and then I would suggest we continue immediately. And the GA afterwards, we can start a bit later, so we have time to do what we had to do. And I mean, this was really just great. So if we just take 10 minutes, or because we need those. Yes, so yeah, so we take, but do we need half an hour? Can we take it in 50?
One for you, GA, to start not so late.
Yeah, in 10 minutes. Yeah. So we grab a cup of coffee and come back in 10 minutes. Okay. The plan is what you do when you are planning. No.
Tamás, I can see you are very ecological.